games, but a positive win rate in sets. And that's another piece of that piece of the pie of trying to process information to come back and get big wins.
Yeah, that was actually one of the more fascinating stats that you presented to me when you said that. It was something that I don't think we've ever seen before, and especially out of a squad like Azilius and Bookmac, who had kind of pulled a complete 180 in their success on the seasons in 2v2 over the last year.
This matchup, I believe, includes two of the top 5 all-time Grand Challenge winners. Benny, who I'm not sure if he's still number 4 on that all-time Grand Challenge list, but he was very recently. At least he's top 6 at the very minimum right now. And of course, Morton mentioned earlier today, number 5 on that list. So 2 of the all-time great Grand Challenge winners in this 2v2 matchup.
And that poison set a little bit high, but that's okay. Archer should walk right into it. Nice decision-making there by Kuchiku and Benny who were dead even here with the Germans is in the first minute of gameplay.
Nightwitch in back-to-back games for SK here in 2v2, Andrew. Very interesting note from this team.
Yeah, it's a card that we basically saw 0 of in the West during the season, and I think earlier today was one of the first times we saw the Nightwitch in 2v2. Played with the Giant Skeleton before. I can't remember exactly by which team that was in which game, but yeah, surprising to see these cards played by the Germans that have really not been popular in the West. And speaking of, I'm not sure how many times we've seen them run clone.
Yeah, and that was an interesting clone there. Very late clone on the balloons, I guess recognizing everything was kind of being distracted for a moment. So 1570 on that left-hand tower, even with the clone not getting a whole lot in its range.
And Sam staring right down the barrel there, looking, I'm not sure if he's maybe having any issues technically, or if he was just giving us a quick look.
Heal Spirit left-hand lane, Fisherman cycled behind by Sam. Kuchiku sending out the Fisherman in that left-hand lane as well. Mortar high to the right.
On top of this mortar, cannon cart to respawn. Mortar not going to be able to connect to the tower.
Baby Dragon, Snowball, Poison, E-Wiz, even Heal Spirit, Fireball if necessary. Lots of tools to deal with clones as we get later in the game here. And that's what makes this really interesting, Andrew, is that it's still Graveyard Balloon. You just have this added mix of the rarely seen clone in this 2v2.
Yeah, and I'm really wondering what it was about this matchup that Sam and Morton decided to go with that specific card. I mean, it's a very rarely used card in general in Clash Royale League. And now them busting it out in 2v2, a bit of a surprise. Mega Knight jumps behind the tower, Baby Dragon on.
Yeah, that forces the E-Wiz out front, and that's not where they wanted to play that. Electro Wizard completely gets run through, 5 seconds left in regulation time, and while SK is still in the lead, that defense did not go quite how they pictured it.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice moment for Benny and Kuchi to come in. Now only 600 HP behind. We get that mortar up high. However, that fireball pushes the balloon away. Sam and Morton recognize they get the clone down, and one of those bombs' death damage will come in on that tower, 662 to 1574.
And the E-Wiz there to hold on to the mortar in the middle.
Wow.
Fisherman takes it out, and that's a second shot from the mortar. A big second shot, Andrew.
Yeah, really big second shot there. Mega Knight comes down just in time here for SK Gaming before that cannon cart becomes too much of a threat. Honestly, Kuchi and Benny still very much in this. Morton and Sam very low in elixir, 6 elixir right now, about half that of Benny and Kuchi, who were sitting at 12 in that moment.
And they're just loading up at the bridge, Andrew. They are trying to put pressure, pressure, pressure as much as they possibly can. Minute 10 left. And again, you see, look at how low both sides are in elixir.
Yeah, and if they keep this pressure upwards, they're actually in a good spot. They definitely have another mortar coming down here. They definitely cycled back around to it. This mortar gets another shot in. This balloon should not actually get to tower death damage-wise, so they can get another mortar down here to defend.
Graveyard in, Poison in. Wow, Fireball as well. This is a ton on the left-hand side. SK in trouble.
Wow, there it is. Kuchiku and Benny who evening things up. That's exactly what Team Queso needs.
Absolute madness. And, you know, you're looking at that clone and they